Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
So
What up?
guys, how's it going?
How's everyone? Well, going pretty good, I think.
Going?
That's the way I think.
Look, I have a sleeping dog today. Let's hope he stays
Doggo.
that way.
Everyone
That's
be
for the
very
video
quiet.
podcast.
Don't wake
Audio
the dog.
podcast, there's a dog behind me that's sleeping. Now you know. Imagine, if you will, a dog.
I think it's funny because you got that blanket behind you that's got the wolf doing this, and he's facing the same direction, the other side. And it's like, this is what he looks like ferocious, and this is what he looks like sleeping.
Yeah, he never makes it to the ferocious. He only ever looks like the sleeping.
There you go.
He's lazy. All right. What games has everybody been playing this week?
I will start, I guess. I have been playing pretty much. I played some Division. I played some Sea of Thieves, but out of curiosity, because the same company's coming out with a new game, I just wanted to go ahead and I've owned the game forever. Finally decided to go ahead and start Quantum Break just to see. Has anybody here played it? No one else has played Quantum Break, right?
No.
I don't think. I might have dabbled in it.
We got it from Gamefly, but I don't know if you installed it to play it, because I think when we got it, we were really busy with other games.
Yeah, I don't think
Right.
I played it.
So with the game, the way that game is set up, it's interesting. Like, there's this whole time arc thing. Of course, if you've seen the trailers or anything for it, you got the stoppage. But I think it's weird because you might play an entire act, and when you get done with the act, whatever you did in the game controls whatever the, I guess, movie, TV show, whatever you want to call it.
It was supposed to be like a TV show.
Yeah, your episode, that's the next thing with those actual actors that are in it. I do really like the abilities that you have, though. Because you have these abilities that you can, like, not only just be able to control time, stop time, whatever. You can shoot, like, basically like a time ball, if you will, to hit a dude and stop.
Okay.
And when you and like everything stops, you shoot that ball, it starts to turn red, and then when it releases, it just explodes, which I think is cool. You've got another one that's kind of a time, I guess, slide, jump, whatever you want to call it, but he's like you move from one location to another, and it's really cool because you can zoom past a guy and then basically hold the focus button for like you would do to zoom in on a gun. And you pull in, and it focuses on whoever the closest enemy is. So you can just start shooting him because he's looking the other direction. Or you can use it later on once you get an upgrade to be able to barrel into them. So now they're like slowly going back, and you can shoot into them because you're moving faster than they are. It's kind of a neat concept. Some of the bad guys and stuff that you fight against are kind of neat. Those that are familiar with Game of Thrones. One of the guys from Game of Thrones is the bad guy in it. So it's I like it so far, but I'm not sure. I want to know how they're going to finish this out, because when you're dealing with time travel, anything's plausible, but it's really hard to make it work. Like for an ending, right? So I'm interested to see what they do with it, and but I don't know. So that's basically what I played. And then this week's going to be horrible because I've got to redo everything in this room. So.
Oh, okay.
Just
So
saying.
you'll kind of be playing like a Tetris and a Sims mashed together, so that you can fit everything in and then make it look good.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
In the real
and
world,
here's what I got to do. I've actually got to, when we finish up the other room, which we're really close to doing, other than the flooring, I've got to move everything in this room into that room. So not only do I have to put everything back, I've got to then move it further closer to the walls and then put everything in here, basically in the middle of the other room, in order to paint this room and redo it.
Yeah, it's
So
way
gonna be
easier in
fun.
The Sims, man. You should just do that instead.
Click.
Yes.
Sell.
Everything.
Sell.
No,
sell.
everything. You put everything in your family inventory so that it's out of the way and in your inventory screen, and then you can just click on the wall and make it whatever color you want instantly. You don't have to paint it, and then you just
That'd
put
be
everything
awesome.
back.
I just wish that like the walls were light panels and they could just be whatever color they wanted to for the day.
One day, that's the future.
Right?
That's thinking with future possibilities.
Well, I feel like that's is it Gates? I think he's got that in his house where every room changes based on who's in the room. Like the colors of the room change.
What if there's a bunch of people? Is it like a party?
I think it goes. He's probably. If it were me, I would have the dominant color in every room that was in there. If I was the guy that invented it and put it in there, I'm just saying.
If it was me, I would just change the color when I wanted, not based on who walked in. Be like, oh, everybody's here, but I don't care that your favorite color is green. This room is pink. Fight me. Oh. It's my house.
There you go. I think the idea is if you're a kid and you go into your room, that it would change colors for you. But if your dad came in, what if he's angry?
Like mood rings. So
he's mad that day. Everything turns red.
But then you get into like Sims 4 territory, where was it that it changed color because you were mad, or you're mad because you're walking into a red room?
You're mad because you're walking into a red room.
That's how it works in Sims 4.
I think it would be hilarious, though. You're mad, the house senses it, and so as you're walking down a hallway, you just see it lighting up red as you're walking.
That would be like a horror movie. That's scary game territory right there.
Kid
that's
goes,
bringing smart houses to the next level.
Right? You're happy, it's all blue or whatever, you know? It's like... So, anyway, what else? What's other people been playing?
I started Devil May Cry 5 yesterday, and it's been a lot of fun. I played until the absolute last minute earlier today because I was like, I can play for this much time before the podcast, and I like it's like an old school game. So once you commit to a chapter, you can't just be like, well, I'll just save here, walk away, like turn it off and come back later. You finish the chapter, or if you turn it off, you start over. So that's kind of your choice. And I was like, I'm not done yet. The podcast is in 15 minutes. Please, where is the end of the level? But it's been fun. I've been enjoying it.
That game was on a list that I was looking at the other day because evidently, like, granted I haven't played the game, but you started it, so you should be past this part. There's like at the very beginning, there's like a boss basically that you're having to fight against, and you have to get out of the situation, or you lose or something, and you end up leaving or whatever. But evidently, if you're really badass, you can beat that boss at the very beginning, and the game ends.
I wonder if that's if you're playing it like New Game Plus.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, well, you have to be super badass to beat him the first time.
But you don't really have any equipment first, like at the start of the game. So I'm just wondering how you.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta beat him with your basic tools. You gotta show why you can end the game at the very beginning.
But I thought it was funny because they have that at the very beginning, and then the person was talking about it. They said that the developers evidently didn't know you were going to be able to do it.
Yeah. So what happens?
So they just. So basically, you get done, and it's like maybe you should play the game again and see the actual story or something. It's got like this little line, and that's it, and like a picture. That's it, and game over, done. You know,
it's like you should try to be worse. Stop being so good.
Right.
Ugh, man, it's hard.
Maybe you can do it on the easier setting, because there's two settings. There's basically the people who are new to the DMC series can play it on this level, and if you're an experienced Devil Hunter, play it on this level. And I'm playing it on experienced Devil Hunter. So maybe if you play it on the easy one and you know what you're doing, it is a lot easier.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. Maybe people are just that
or
good.
Or you're just extremely skilled. Because even with Dark Souls, that first boss that you run into where you have the broken sword, you can beat him then and there if you're skilled.
What are you talking about? The big guy that would slam?
The big demon you're supposed to run off to.
That was actually on the list too. Was that one too?
That one is actually super fucking easy if you actually know how to. All you got to do is go around and climb up to the top, and then you can jump on his head and take like 3/4 of his health off, and then hit him a couple times, and that's it.
If you just went into the room for the first time, though, like your choices at the beginning, if you get fire bombs, those do a whole lot more damage than your sword does. And so you just basically dodge around the room and just keep them with the fireballs, is what they said.
You can slam on his head and then throw fire bombs, and easy.
Yeah.
Done.
Oh, it's talking about beating him before you go around and up on the ledge.
That is a lot harder. But I don't know
that's
why
what
you
it was.
do that. You can just go up there and get a
drop-down
attack.
There's a big drop that he drops too. Like you get his hammer or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning.
Oh, if you cut off his tail, I think it is.
Yeah.
Because I know certain bosses
if you beat him without going around, you get his hammer.
There was another one too. It was Resident Evil 3, maybe. There's a guy that follows you around that's really hard to kill or something. And
Nemesis?
Yeah, Nemesis. So you can kill Nemesis also, and every time Nemesis shows up, you can kill him, and he drops like special items, like parts to guns and shit like that every time you kill him. So.
Well, you don't really kill him. He just leaves.
Yeah, he's like Jason
He just
from
retreats.
fucking Friday the 13th. Shit, I guess. I don't know. He's undead, but... So, yeah. Very, very interesting. What else you play?
Me? I played some Overwatch. I still haven't gotten the Hanzo skin from the event. It's so pretty. I need it. But it's probably going to be, like, one of those skins that I've seen a bunch of people running around with the Torbjorn skin. Even Baka has the new Torbjorn skin, which looks great, by the way. Beach Torbjorn is hilarious. But the Hanzo skin, I think I've only seen it once so far in game. Somebody else wearing it. So I wonder if it's just got, like, a super low drop rate on it.
Or maybe not as many people like it.
I like it. I want it. Give it to me. Just, let me have it. Come on. I think they want me to spend my money on it. Like, my gold pieces, though. Which I could. I could buy 3 skins if I wanted. But I really just want to get it out of the box.
Well, on the last stage, just buy it if you don't
that's
get it.
That's my plan. But, I mean, we've got, like, 3 weeks to do it. So, it was this week, and then next week, and the week after that. So...
I think you'll get it.
Yep. And there's free skins involved too, like aside from just whatever you get out of loot box you're playing. This week was if you won 9 matches, you got a Reaper skin, like the American Reaper. Next week I think is the May skin. Is it a May skin? I want to say it's May.
Yeah, and then the last one's Reinhardt.
Yeah, it's a German themed Reinhardt. So, because it's summer games, they're just early this year.
Yes. Gotta move things out of the way for Classic WoW.
Oh yeah. I don't want anything to distract people.
Exactly. Everybody needs to get into Classic WoW.
You're going to spend some time going through leveling up, getting my mount.
It's a long road, Baka, and you know it quite well.
Yep. Gonna hit points where we're just killing mobs for XP.
You want to run a dungeon? Let's run a dungeon.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah, since we're going to have, hopefully, at least 5 people around. So, it'd be good to do. Anyway, get distracted. Still got a button.
I get to use traps again and be useful.
I know, right?
What'd you guys play?
Overwatch, the Ninja Turtle game that I downloaded. Have to restart. I have like one life left, and it's not enough to beat the game. Because I kept goofing around with the new characters and seeing who does what and what their special abilities do. And
I wonder if that's something you can stream, like a fan-made game like that they don't have the rights to necessarily.
Probably not, because then again you're making money off of.
It'll probably get it shut down if you do that.
It'd probably be like, you can't play that on stream.
Kind of like Halo.
Kind of like the Halo thing. But I think the difference is the Halo one, that was just dumb, because it's literally the game that everybody has been wanting on there. Where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like, oh, that's a cool idea. Let's play
it'd probably
that,
slide under the radar for a little bit, but eventually someone's gonna be like, that's not a real game. You can't stream that.
Well, it's their own game. It takes elements from some of the older games, but
it's not a copyrighted game. They don't have the license to use it.
Hey, just put it as part of a web show. You're good. Fun. So what about you, Chicken? What you got?
I played some Overwatch this week, of course. And I think it was Friday night I played with Snitty and Newbie. And Snitty is a fanatic for 1v1s. And I felt like I was off my game, but apparently I wasn't. I absolutely smashed both of them.
Or they're just
one-on-one. And then I smashed them 2v1. Like, it got pretty rough. And I really did not think I was playing very well. But,
evidently you're playing better than them.
Apparently. And finally, because I 2 weeks ago I started the first Tomb Raider, and It crashed right after the first chapter, and then it crashed again. I was like, "Fuck it, I'll try it next weekend."
It's weird.
Tried it again, got to finished the next chapter, and then it crashed again. I was like, "Fuck!" So I started up again, and it crashed again, and I was like, "You know what? Fuck this game." Try it again at some other point. So I loaded it up yesterday afternoon, and I started playing it. And I just started like beelining through it, kind of, picking up stuff, exploring, just kind of staying focused and going through it. And it didn't crash at all. I'm almost done with the game. The game is okay. It came out in 2013, so it's a very, very safe reboot. Holy shit. Like, if you want to look at a safe game, this is a safe game. Like, they didn't try anything fancy in it at all. It is so streamlined and simple. I had a little higher hopes when I first started playing, because it was like, you got to kill the deer and get the stuff and whatnot. I was like, oh, so a little bit of crafting like Far Cry? No, not even remotely like that. Everything that you use to craft is just salvage. The enemies are absolutely tards. Like, most of the time I'll load into a zone, like getting ready for the next big fight area, and I'll just have my bow and I'll stand in one place, and as they run in, I'll just headshot them, and they just kind of like fall like dominoes. And then I just run over, loot them all up, move on to the next zone, and they run in and do it again. But I towards the end of the game, I just started fucking going Lara Rambo, fucking pull out the machine gun and just run them down. They're trying to run away. It's like, all right, I guess this is how we'll do it now.
The bow most of the time, I think, just because it was. I mean, just because the way that mechanic is, I absolutely love the way a bow feels in that game. So.
Bows are good in most games.
Yeah,
is that the one with the bear? That has the bear in it too, right?
Mm-mm. Not in this one. I haven't fought a bear.
Maybe the second one has the bear in it. Okay.
Yeah. So, I got that one.
Yeah, you would know it if you fought it.
I'm waiting for the second one so that I can play. Finishing this one, which I will be done. It's probably going to take another hour or so before I can finish it. I was hoping to finish it before the podcast, but whatever.
You tried.
But yeah. I'm almost done with it. It's nothing super fancy in my opinion. It's pretty streamlined, real safe, simple game. Hopefully the next one's a little better.
It's a little. The second one's a little bit better. Second one feels more like the Uncharted series, where the first one they kind of get that feel. It's a good combination of what the old Tomb Raider games were plus Uncharted. The second one feels more like an Uncharted game, just the way they have it set up.
I gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. But yeah, that's what I was saying, or that's what I've been playing.
That's what I've been saying. Yes, we were listening.
Oh.
Well, you guys want to talk about some news stuff? There's not a lot of it.
A little bit of news.
Yeah. So. Okay, well, it's very exciting stuff. I'll just pick one.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves was almost in Death Stranding, sort of, because people wanted him to be and suggested him Kojima, and Kojima's like, I like that Mads Mikkelsen a little better, though. Which I think was a good choice. I think that was me paraphrasing. I'm pretty sure you could see all of that happening exactly that way.
Yes.
I think Mads is a better villain-esque character than Keanu. Like, he's been the bad guy in movies before and stuff, but I also think
he has a more evil face.
Mads Mikkelsen?
Mads.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like he's got the evil face that they were probably... And Kojima probably had this specific thought in his head, and he's like, Keanu's close, but that's not who I'm looking for this one. I want him.
He's too nice. He can't be.
I also think that you have to have specific actors to carry some of Kojima's kind of out there storytelling. And I'm not saying that I doubt Keanu Reeves' ability to act in almost any situation, but I think that Mads is a little more suited to the kind of like strange storytelling side of things than Keanu.
Well,
Plus,
but
I like that Keanu is into Cyberpunk. I'm glad that happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that, like, with Mads, I think the other thing, too, is that Danish accent that he has. Like, to me, you can make that sound evil, where, Keanu and his backside, it's like his Hawaiian accent, not real, like, evil. I just don't hear him, not real evil sounding, Dude, man, let me take you out, bro. I'm going to shoot you right now, man. I just couldn't see Keanu playing a part that's that evil.
I mean, I don't know. Have you watched John Wick? He doesn't really seem like laid back surfer dude in that.
I have, but I mean, but at the same time, I don't look at John Wick as I look at him as badass,
I don't look at him as
not
a
an
bad
evil guy.
I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but I'm
Yeah.
saying he's definitely not. Yo, bro, let me take you out for a burger and some beers, and then we'll go surfing. Like,
Well, if you've ever watched a lot of his early performances, he's
oh yeah, he
playing
got
the
typecast
same
a lot
character.
earlier. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people did. That was
Mhm.
kind of the thing for a long time. It's typecasting. But yeah, so he got passed on. No big deal. I think Mads is going to work out better for that, and I'm glad that Keanu's in Cyberpunk, and I think
Absolutely.
everything worked out for the better in that situation.
Yep, I think it's a good one. Good choice for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so back at E3, we had Ubisoft coming out and them saying that they're going to have their own service similar to Game Pass or EA's Origin Access, something similar to that. That was going to have 100 plus PC games for the subscription, $15 a month. Well, they've announced the games that are coming out with it, and I'm gonna have to say, there's a lot of every fucking Assassin's Creed's on it, every one of them, and I'm very interested to see, is the Beyond Good and Evil on this the original?
Yeah,
Okay,
because the next one's Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Right. So, but it's a prequel too, which is weird. It's so
I mean,
weird.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is also a prequel.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Of course, you got a good amount of the Far Cry games that are going to be on here as well. Child of Light, which is a nice little indie feeling game from Ubisoft. That one's good. I don't know what Cold Fear is.
It's like half their catalog, basically. We don't.
Yeah.
Just
If
that
you like
we-
Brothers in Arms, they got all those. I mean, like they've got
Most of the
Might
Tom
and Magic, which
Clancy's,
has a lot of following. You know what I mean? Like they've got some really good games on here, but it's
Trials
like
Evolutions, all three of them. Uno.
yes,
There-
which
there-
would be
there's
fun
no-
for a
no-
party night.
They're missing the first Might and Magic though.
Are they? I didn't notice
Mhm.
that part.
Yep.
Yeah.
2, 3,
Yep.
4. 2, 3. They're missing 4.
Yep, they're missing 4 as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're missing 1 and 4 because I see 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
It's plenty of Might and Magic to keep you occupied for a while.
But not all of them. Also, Monopoly Plus. Hell yeah.
Those will be they have to swap out games later, so that'll be what it is. It's like they'll take one of the Might and Magics out and put 4 in and 1 in.
Monopoly
I would
Plus
be
needs to
interested
be
to
able to flip a table. Like if you're playing with your friends and you get upset, you need to just be able to flip the fucking table and leave.
I don't think they're going to let you do that because people would just join into games to do that.
Hell yeah.
In time for the Watch Dogs games to come out. They've got both 1 and 2 of it. And then the new Watch Dog is supposed to be on there too. Which is that Legion? That
Yeah,
one's called.
Legion.
And then God and Monsters, which I cannot for the life of me remember what game that is. It's supposed to be coming out as well, which is one of their newer games. So it's gonna be very similar. I'm still not sure if it's worth $15 a month.
Not on top of all the other subscriptions that everybody has out there.
Yeah, I just think it's weird. I'm very interested to see if this tanks.
I don't
Like,
think
or-
it'll tank. I
don't
think
think
people
it
who
will. I
are
mean-
Ubisoft players will do this.
I think it's going to be the same thing as Origin, where there's like a niche group that will, really be into it, or it'll be one of those things that you do like what we did with Anthem, which is, oh, this is going to be on their Game Pass day one. I'll spend the $15 to try it out, to put up the Game Pass and try it out.
But it's also
and play
the
it that
only way you could buy that game. You couldn't buy that game outside of there. Where Ubisoft game, I guess some of the Ubisoft stuff is moving over to their own platform
that
as
everybody's-
well. So
Yeah, the internet went really off
Really
for a
slow.
second. Yeah.
but like for like the Division 2, I know is on. It's the reason I won't buy it on PC is because of the formats it's on. But most of these other games like Splinter Cell, Far Cry games, things like that, you could buy on Steam, and a lot of people have already purchased them. So where like let's say Dead Space, which is probably one of EA's older but bigger franchises that they've had, once you get to some of, like, I think one is the only one that's available on Steam maybe, and the other two are you have to go through EA Origin, or you can get them through their EA Access. So maybe that's how they're going to work it, where they're going to start moving their stuff strictly over to their own format.
I think a lot of developers will kind of lean that way. I mean, and I don't mind buying straight from the developer. I just don't want to have to, have it be exclusive through an auxiliary store like Epic. Like, if it's an Epic game and they're selling it through their store exclusively, I don't have a problem with that. If it's an Ubisoft game and they're selling it exclusively through Uplay, I don't have a problem with that. Like, that's not a big deal. I don't care about that. I just don't... I know we get on our, tangents about the Epic store, but it's not the same if it's a specific developer selling their product through their store. I think that's different.
I agree with that.
And I don't have a problem with that. So
It's like Nintendo games. You can only buy Nintendo games from
Through Nintendo, yeah.
I mean, they don't go anywhere else.
Nope. Well, I mean, you've got first-party console games and stuff like that you can only go through there. So I think the difference is when you're dealing with a publisher, I think it's a little bit different if they've got their own format. But I think that's how this thrives too, right? The only way you're going to get it to thrive is do exclusives in some way for your... Even if you're just going, hey, you can get a month early on Uplay for this game, but it's going to be released on Steam later, or you can't buy it, you can't even get it on console for a month before. But PC players can play ahead of time if they're playing through.
What Origin does, which is you get it a few days before the game launches if you're part of their service. Like, I think it's 3 days. 3 days advance playtime. So, I mean, they kind of are doing that. It's like...
Yeah, they're going to do the same thing.
But 3 days is me.
Days
not worth $15.
In a world where people need that extra time to make videos and stream, those 3 days are hypercritical.
That's true.
So that you
it is.
can get
No,
on
I could see that.
It's important for content creators to get it early, as early as possible.
Yes, absolutely. So that's just something people don't think about. It's like, oh, they get to play it 3 days early. They get access to it 3 days early, which means they get to be on the forefront of making the videos and streaming it and talking about it. And especially in a gaming culture like we have now, where everything is so fast, you got to make sure that you're at the front trying to move along with everybody. So.
And on top of that off, one of the things that they're doing, as we heard at the Ubisoft E3, as well as they're going to be supporting Stadia, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, their formats like this is also available on Stadia as well. So you can get on PC or you can get it on Stadia. So you can pay the $15 a month or whatever, or you can buy the games. But they're putting an absolute emphasis on trying to get games over to the Stadia, because they said there's not a whole lot of extra cost that's involved in getting games to work well with Stadia. So that's good. For those gamers that want to play on Stadia, it's good for the format. The only thing is, you can't have a cap, and you have to have fast-ass internet. So enjoy.
Yep.
I am interested to see if that no latency is true or not, though.
I don't think so. I really don't.
I mean, I think yeah, if you're sitting in LA, there's going to be no latency whatsoever. But I think if you're sitting,
if you have like Google,
in Tulsa,
Google
Oklahoma,
Fiber
or some shit like that, it's not going to be a thing.
But Google Fiber isn't everywhere yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to get zero latency, like even with Google.
Nice.
Google Fiber.
Yes, even with Google Fiber, it's one of those where depending on where those servers are located, if you've got a server close to one of those, the Google area you're at, you're fine. But if it's coming from a server setting out in LA, and you're in the middle of the country, there's still going to be some latency there. It's not instant, which they're talking about zero latency. I just don't see that. I mean, sitting there with a controller in your hand or doing a mouse and keyboard and being able to play on a browser, it's just weird to me. But maybe they do have it down. Maybe that technology's here, and maybe it's alien technology from Area 51 or something. We don't know. Anything's possible.
Well, we'll know after everybody runs to it like idiots. Please don't participate in that. That's my PSA for today.
I mean,
That's a
you're more than
tangential
welcome
PSA.
to go
Please
to
don't.
the visitor center over there and meet up, and everybody can laugh about this funny meme and whatnot. But don't follow through and go to the airport
Especially
space, please.
the Naruto run.
Oh my God,
not going to
please.
help.
All I could see, I could understand, like, you're gonna have a bunch of these people just start running towards it, and then they're gonna just divert and Naruto run around in the fields for a while. Who's going first? Who's going first? Nobody's gonna go first, and the military's just gonna stand there and go, "Wow, these fucking idiots."
Have you seen the pictures of them showing officers what the run is?
Oh
Yeah,
my God. Look, let's not tangent off into this. Let's get back to video games. Please don't be dumb is the PSA.
See, this is when you created a game for it, though, right?
No,
It's
please.
Sneak on 2.
It's gonna be a bunch of asset flips on Steam about it, I'm sure, if there's not already.
Oh yeah.
They could do it in the real battle simulator game.
Oh my God.
and just have 300,000 people try to charge
No.
at a recreation of Area 51.
Oh my God.
There you go.
It's like, look, guys, this is what's going to happen.
Oh goodness.
Too funny.
Yeah, and then watch them actually overrun the military base, and you're like, "Oh no, that's what was supposed to happen." And they're like, "Cool, now we can do it." It's like, no, that's wrong.
Here, let me bring this back. Do you guys see that trailer for The Witcher from Netflix? The series? Oh my God. Like, I think I'm sold now. Like, I think I'm gonna, like...
You were skeptical, so
I was skeptical, but I think I'm gonna binge watch the crap out of that.
I'm still
looks
skeptical, but I'm excited to watch it. I want to see.
Yeah, I want to see. I need to know.
I still think it's weird we don't have an actual release date on it. Like, even in the article that we're reading on here, it
think
said
it's December.
sometime late.
They're gonna
sometime
be
late
a
this
surprise.
year.
It's here. It's gonna stealth launch, and nobody's gonna know.
Oh, I don't think it'll stealth launch. I don't think it's stealth launch. And everybody's looking for something to do now after they binge watched the shit out of Stranger Things 3. And they're like, what are we gonna do?
I still have a list of
watched that.
things to watch, so I'm good. I introduced my sister to Red vs. Blue this weekend. Yeah.
You got through October, isn't that what you said?
I've only
Well-
seen a handful of episodes of that.
So good. It's on Netflix right now if you're looking for something while you wait for The Witcher. It still is tangentially video game related because it's created in the Halo series. Oh, so
machinima.
good. Yeah, it's machinima. The first season is arguably the worst season though. So if you are gonna watch it from the start, which you should because they reference a lot of jokes from season 1 throughout the rest of it, just struggle bust through season 1 and 2 on is so much better. It just keeps getting better and better as it goes. I promise.
And part of that's because of their technology improved on how they were trying to do stuff.
The last one that I watched was something about taking someone's skull out and beating him with
Season
their own
1.
skull.
Tex beat
Season
somebody's skull to death with their own skull. I don't think that's physically possible. That's what he kept yelling while she beat him to death. Like, it's so dumb. It's because they wanted, like, that whole series was just going to be a couple of internet videos for one joke about a dude ending up in pink armor. And then people really loved it. And so it became,
And now they have their own conference. And
yeah, they have their own company. I mean, they're like a media magnate now, so... But it's good. It's on, and the reason I said we need to watch it I told my sister, is because they're moving all the Rooster Teeth stuff to HBO Max. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, like
that
one of the
stupid
30
thing.
HBO things.
They have
so
three. They have 3 HBO. They're gonna have 3 different subscriptions for HBO.
insane.
The regular one, it's the
But-
premium one, and then the Max one.
At this rate, everyone just needs to go back to cable because it'll
No
be
shit.
cheaper.
That's what somebody was
Then,
talking
like,
about.
Yeah, it's like each one of these subscription things is $15 a month, and when you start going for like 5 or 6, it's like cable was cheaper.
Yep.
No shit. Like,
Well, what's going to happen is part of what will happen is exactly what happened to create what we have, which is people go back to bootlegging. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to go back and they're going to go, I'm not paying $15 a month for every fucking thing on the planet. Instead, I'll go to one source that's completely illegal and figure out a way to watch it.
Yeah.
Well,
sometimes that's what you
those
gotta
of
do.
us that are smart enough for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
some
if you're
people
poor,
will
you're
follow
gonna
the
figure
wrong
it out.
road.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like how Hulu does it. Like, you've got Hulu, and then you can do add-ons for it. I just wish that they gave you a bundle deal if you're going to buy a bunch of
To the add-ons?
add-ons and whatnot. Instead of it's like, oh yeah, this is $3, 15, 15, 15, 20, 80, 20. It's like, what the
Or you
fuck?
just have people that are going to make decisions on things. Like, there are certain Disney movies that I'd like to have on, like, Netflix or something, but since Disney's doing their own streaming, it's all going to be there. I want to see those things, but I don't want to see them enough to pay for a Disney subscription, so I'm just not.
I still think Hulu's gonna end up being there because they bought Hulu. I still think that's gonna end up being
Disney.
the
Yeah,
Disney
it'll probably
subscription.
be an add-on for it.
Yeah, I think that's where it's gonna end up being. So it's instead of having their own separate one, because it's supposed to release in November. We should probably hear something in September, October, I would think. So that's coming up soon to hear more about that, to be able to do it. And a lot of subscription stuff going on. They're doing the same thing for the they're doing the same thing for gaming, right? So now we've got all the subscription stuff going on there.
Yep.
And I'm interested to see how that affects GameFly. Because
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, is with all your subscription stuff is almost all PC, where you're doing all of your subscription stuff, because you can still get the discs. So it's like, at this point, it's easier to go console, because you can get access to everything. You just, I mean, jeez, you guys, jeez. Well,
So-
whatever. I'm looking forward to Witcher. So
For sure.
I think it's gonna do well.
And it was, I'm pretty sure it was renewed for 3 seasons.
Oh wow!
Already?
yeah.
Yeah. They're
Let
giving
me
it
tell
So,
you.
so they watched it and went, "Yep, we're gonna make a bundle off this one."
They want this to be the equivalent of Game of Thrones. Like, they want it to be
Interesting.
huge.
It's going to
Like,
be
this is
very
just the
adult.
first
Isn't that what it
book.
said?
This
And they're
just-
basing it
yeah.
off the book,
Yeah,
right?
the book. So
Yeah.
if you've played the
It's-
games, please understand the games in the book were different, and the series is going to be more to the game or to the book than it is to the games.
It's going to be
Please
dark.
keep that in mind.
There's going to be nudity, and tons of violence.
Wasn't
It's
there
going to
nakedness
be
in the games too? Like, that's not shocking.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. It's
yeah.
going to
Not
be
a surprise.
very, very adult story. So do not let your children watch this. It will probably give them
Well,
nightmares.
the Witcher games were rated M for a reason too, so you shouldn't be letting your kids play The Witcher to start with.
Yeah.
I don't see many like 10-year-olds going, I can't wait to play the Witcher game though, because that's a sit down commitment thing and
Yeah.
not very
A
kid
very
attention
long
span
term
friendly.
commitment.
It's because it's not just run and shoot and build up walls.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you remember how a long time ago we were talking about the best way to deal with cheaters is to send them, like in a multiplayer setting, is to send them to Cheater Island and let them play together? Apex did it. Apex is like, if
You know what?
if you're cheating, you can play with other
The thing that
cheaters.
amazes me about the fact they're doing this, they had that system set up in the first Titanfall game. This is the same fucking company in the same
Yeah.
world.
Maybe
Why
they
did you
were
not
being,
do it?
Maybe they were being hopeful that they wouldn't need it because people would just play the game and be
I-
Or
straightforward.
maybe
I would-
they learned their lesson before. There's been a few other games that have done something similar to this, where if you cheat,
You play with
it puts you
cheaters.
in your own
Yeah,
servers.
true.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I can suggest as to why they were doing it is that they were gathering data on the people who cheat so that they could start. It's like, okay, you, and like after the list got pretty big, they're like, okay, now when those people queue up, we can
Well,
take
they were
them out of
probably
that.
also gathering data on how, like, what programs they were running to cheat with, so that they could
Mm-hmm.
have a catch and release kind of thing, where it's like, okay, they caught you cheating with this thing, let's put you on this bad place. Caught you cheating, put you on this bad place. I had to figure out what to look for first.
It had
too.
to fill Cheaters Island because you can't just as soon as the game starts, you can't be like, all right, Cheaters Island, we got 4 of them. You guys can only play
I
by
Well, you shouldn't have
yourself in this whole
cheated. That would
game.
have been great.
right.
I'm like,
There's
oh,
only
I think
3
it-
people on the map.
I think it would have been funny if they'd figure out some way to troll the fuck out of them in the game too, though. Like, so you send them to there, right? Don't tell them that they're on Cheaters Island, right? And maybe the new dragon things, the flyers or whatever the hell they're called, that are flying around, come down and just annihilate them. It's like, or something, like turn around and go, what the fuck? Like, just troll the shit out of them.
Or you can do things like if when they're firing their weapon, it damages them every shot they fire.
Or it doesn't do anything. What game was it that if you were playing the hacked version of it, your gun shot
The chicken?
chickens? Yeah, it just shot
I
chickens
can't
out.
remember.
And
I
they
can't
didn't do
remember,
anything.
but that was so funny because you had the chickens that just go around. That was great. Or you had the one that was the monsters that you couldn't kill. Like it would be this one that was hard to kill anyway, but it was completely impossible to kill it if you had the hack version of the game.
Serious Sam had something like that where a monster hunted you down through the game. You couldn't do anything to it.
That's funny.
If it was the hacked version.
Yep.
Imagine if they did start filling the game, like the Cheater Island, the second the game launched, and you're the first one there. You're like, hey guys, where'd everybody go?
It's like,
You've got your like infinite
by
ammo,
myself.
super one-shot gun, but there's nobody around. Oh, it's like that Twilight
just
Zone
have
episode
individual
where you're like, I have
server.
all the time to read, and then the glasses shatter. It's like that. I could kill anybody, but there's nobody here.
No one's on these servers anymore. I don't get it, man. We used to have no problems filling up the 60 people that are on here. Why is there only 6? I don't get it. It's like, just have 2 teams of 3. Done. So it's like, all right, go.
Well, good on them. And it's also got, there's an auto ban bot that they've got working on stuff. And there's a bunch of precautionary stuff there.
So if you cheat on Cheater Island, do they finally ban you? Or do they just...
You're cheating, so I mean, if you guys are all invincible and you're just shooting each other, how satisfying is that?
Well, I wouldn't tell them.
I wouldn't either.
I'm sure they did. Like, this is probably the first time they're hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, that's why nobody would die. Makes sense now.
Susan had to cheat harder.
And it also counts it as cheating if you like regularly group up with cheaters because you're trying to get carried. And so it's like, oh, well, you're okay. We're going to take away the cheaters and temporarily ban your account. So, don't play with cheaters. Okay?
Don't cheat.
Yeah, don't cheat and don't play with the people cheating. If you're not good at a game, practice until you are or stop playing. Those are your options.
I hope it has a way of detecting whether or not you're just in a random queue or if... And you just like... Because I mean, let's say that you happen to roll in and
if you actually join their party and y'all group
that's probably what it looks for.
Do groups.
Yeah, because I would hate to be like I played 10 games in a row and I just happen to have like 6 of those where I had cheaters on both sides.
Yeah, then you'd be dealing with Rockstar's GTA Online. Oh, a cheater walked by you and dropped money and your vacuum picked it up because that's how that game works. You're cheating. Get out. Like, thanks, Rockstar. At least they're not that bad about it. Apex, or Respawn is actually looking at reasonable ways to catch people instead of it being innocent bystanders getting caught in the crosshairs.
I love that they do this in games, though. It's one of my favorite things that they're putting everybody on Cheater Islands.
Yes,
nowadays.
I'm a big proponent of Cheater Island. If you want to be a dick, go be a dick with other people being dicks.
It also prevents them from creating new accounts too to get around the ban.
It keeps an eye on spam accounts.
Yep,
it's really nice.
Yeah.
What do you mean that his gamer tag was iCheat172113?
A little on the nose there.
Oh, too funny.
Speaking of the random gamer tags, it's really funny in Forza. My sister's still playing Forza. Is watching her try to read some of the other gamer tags on the map, because there's still like you still get a bunch of them that are like XXX, no scope 360 XX, things like that. But then there are some where it's like, is this an auto-generated gamer tag, or did you actually pick Fluffernutter 37? We saw one last night that was like Squirrel Boss.
Okay, total props for that shit. Squirrel Boss, it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, she's gotten into the habit now where she likes to, when people go by, she likes to turn around and see what their names are because gamer tags are a weird thing. Dude, seeing some of that stuff.
That just gave me an idea for a magic deck.
Squirrel Boss? No.
Make an entire deck that just cranks out squirrel tokens and just run everyone over.
Oh my god.
Too funny.
So, we've talked about Overwatch League some this summer, and they're running GOATS comps constantly, which is 3 tanks, 3 healers, and it's just basically meatball fight of a health pool, 2 health pools crashing against each other until one of them depletes. Yeah, Blizzard's gonna get rid of that. They're actually gonna do role locks, So it's 2, 2, and 2. 2 tanks, 2 supports, 2 DPS per game.
You mean like actual strategy?
Yeah.
Instead of...
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think that part of it was them watching how the GOATS comp thing unfolded this season. And seeing...
They already knew, like, the pro players knew that they were doing a 2-2-2 at the very beginning of the year.
I guess they were running GOATS because they weren't going to get a chance to in the future? Because you completely eliminated the need for the DPS role in that setup.
But with competitive games, you're playing every single game to win, regardless of what the future, like how the future is going to change. Because that stuff you deal with when it happens. Now it's just GOATs. You got to win all of your games. So,
I'm glad that they're changing it because it puts more strategy into the game instead of it just being like, get 2 giant health pools. That's all you need. Crash them into each other. It's like, there's no tactics to that. I mean, yes, you have to make good plays and stuff still, but there's a lot more room for error because you have 3 healers right there and you've got 3 frontliners in front of you. So it just kind of
is getting a massive fucking rework due to this too.
Yeah.
So. Well,
Moira's getting
like how Brigitte works.
Yeah, because you like cheese comps.
He
and
just
Brigitte's
likes
a cheese champion.
He just likes to swing.
But Moira's also getting an update where she will be able to use her fade.
It's PTR.
It's on the PTR right now. Her fade will get her out of stuns. So, like McCree's flashbang or Reinhardt's ult, she can phase out of that, essentially. And my thought process, my guess on this is they're trying to make her more viable in competitive play because you don't see Moira played at all in comp. Well, in comp, I guess, not in League. You just generally don't see her being played in League.
She's rare, but she's still there.
I think they're trying to give her something that gets her utility. So
that is not how you help with her.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that's the answer, but I think that's why they did it.
Yeah, well,
they may have to fix some of that because, like, getting out of Junkrat's trap. Oh, okay, I get that. Same thing with Reaper, but it's like you're stunned.
How does that work?
Be able to, yeah.
I can understand it if she was in it and then the area gets stunned and she's already in that mode.
Yeah, I think it does add invincibility while she's stealth, but she can get stunned and then dash out of it.
Yeah, I think that's a little weird. But I would say that it's not fair because it negates like a Reinhardt ult or something. But Sombra negates a lot of ults, and I don't think that's cool either.
So some of her negating makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like I hacked you. You can't run anymore.
Yeah. I hacked you. You can't run anymore. But I hacked a Bastion, and he can still be a turret. Okay.
Yeah. It's inconsistent to say the very least. The roll lock is going to be in quick play. The way quick play is now is going to be quick play classic. So
which will be in arcade. It'll go through arcade mode stuff.
It'll be in the arcade. So it'll be free. It'll be free run. You can play whatever you want.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because all the arcade stuff rotates.
You're gonna have to queue up as a specific player now. Like when you go play, like when you go to queue up in quick play, you'll have to decide who's playing what. I think you could pick up to 2 roles. So tank.
Well, if you
support.
could pick 3, then you'd be one of everything. Feel like I am flex.
I'm pretty sure it's a fill button where it's like I'll play whatever. I don't give a fuck. Which would be 99% of the time you will be playing support or tank.
Most likely tank. I think tank's gonna be the least queued role, and then support, and then DPS will be the most queued.
I love the comment because DPS are going to take forever to get in the game.
It's the same thing in WoW when you queue for dungeons. The DPS have to wait for hours to get a dungeon queue because there's so many of them queued up. Whereas tanks and heals, you're just going to go right in.
Yep.
That's good though, because what it does is it means those people that are sitting there trying to do DPS the whole time is like, maybe I should try a tank or a healer. You know what I mean? Like, learn to play the fucking game. Like these other characters that you normally wouldn't.
My suggestion is if you like the DPS and you want to try a different role that will get you faster queues, go with Orisa as a tank. Because she throws down a shield that everybody can stand behind, so you don't have to babysit them too closely. she can negate stuns with her gold thingy. I can't remember what it's called. And she just shoots a bunch of bullets. Like, she's a machine gun. If you're a DPS player who needs to be a tank fill, be Orisa. Or maybe D.Va. But D.Va, you can get too zealous doing the DPS part and not enough of the actual tanking part. I think with Orisa it's easy because you can passively at least put down your shield. So at least you've helped them a little bit if you're going to completely ignore your team. Pro tip. Also, Orisa's adorable.
What with her pony prance?
Yes, she's so cute.
For our last article that we've got, it is sad news in a way. Blizzard's co-founder Frank Pierce is stepping down away from the company after 28 years of being at Blizzard. The only concerning thing I have about this whole thing is the way he worded it, and he made the comment that he's basically passing it on to the new generation, the next generation, which I'm like, so there's no control left, basically, because all the big dogs have now retired.
There's
one left.
Big dog left. He left in 2006, and he said it was the biggest mistake of his life. He should have never left Blizzard. And he came back in 2016, and he's still there. He's the only big dog left. Alan Adam.
Okay, thanks.
He's because there are 3 co-founders: Mike Morhaime, Frank Pierce, and Alan Adam, and they started Silicon and Symmetry, something like that. That was their first game. They made it on Sega. It was okay. And then they founded Blizzard Entertainment and worked on The Lost Vikings, and then everybody knows where it went from there.
Yeah, I want to play Lost Vikings again if I can find another copy.
I'm sure
Just wait till Blizzard starts up their own streaming service.
Yeah.
Then me and Chicken can go through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is sad. That's 2. It's 2 gone. And it honestly, as a Blizzard fan, this is Activision fully committing to the hostile takeover of Blizzard's full assets. Like, honestly, at this point, I'm just putting my blinders on and focusing on Classic WoW because I don't want to see all the burning down of Blizzard Entertainment. It's like, just don't look at anything. Just let me play Classic WoW.
I have a question, because normally you all pay for your digital ticket, basically, to be able to watch
BlizzCon?
all the announcement stuff for BlizzCon. Are you going to do that this year after how this past year's gone?
No.
I mean, we know Diablo 4 is on the docket this year, for reals.
Yeah.
Not.
Don't you people have phones?
I mean, do you start with that? I feel like you start with that, too.
Oh, yeah, you start big. Like, okay, I still really want to do it because I like watching and being part of... like, the people up high may be changing, but at least the community down here, we're staying the same. So that's kind of what I feel, so...
It's also a social thing for us, too, because it's usually we buy the virtual ticket and Foxy comes over and spends the weekend and we all watch it together.
So
maybe?
I'm still leaning towards buying it because I really do like watching all of the stuff.
There'll be discussion closer to time.
Yes.
Family discussion. About whether or not we're going to spend the money on it, because... I mean, unless there are some really sweet skins that come with it for, like, Overwatch or something, maybe.
I did find it interesting that he was 2 years away from being 30 years and retired in 28 years. Like,
well, it's because they pushed him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I guarantee Activision was like, yeah, you're good, man. 28 years, go ahead and
Well, it may have been one of those things where it's like, we'll let you retire now, or if you don't want to retire next year, we're going to just replace you.
So I wonder if these guys still have, like, board positions. These ones that are retiring and stuff, because they created the company. And so I'm wondering if they still have, like, shares in the company and things like that, like the major part of it, because that's, I mean, there's no telling how much their net worth would be.
I would assume that they get all the royalties, and they're basically set up for life. They never have to worry about it. And I'm sure most, like, if they could be truly honest, I'm sure they would have a lot to say with how Blizzard is run, but they don't want to burn any bridges on their way out since they're going to be set up nice for everything afterwards. So I'm sure that they've still got some, oh God, what's this?
I don't think he's worried about it. I just looked at his net worth. It's $1 billion.
Yeah.
So they're billionaires, so I don't think they
Yeah, but it could also
Well,
be one of those things where it's like we just don't want to deal with the aftermath of it being messy,
Yeah.
Or maybe they're gonna secretly make a new company.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If the last
you got
member,
if each one of you have $1 billion, that's going to be easy to do.
because like all of Blizzard fans would be like, oh my God, the trio is making a new company. Instead of Blizzard Entertainment, do it like Storm Entertainment. It's just a different type of weather.
Snowstorm.
Hurricane.
Hurricane Entertainment.
Or call it heat wave. It's the opposite to Blizzard.
Oh, nice way.
Blizzard
You can have
got
any
so
of
cold over
those
the years.
people who are starting new companies. Please feel free to take those.
You could just call it Melting Games.
Melting Games.
Thaw.
Thaw.
Thaw games.
Summer thaw.
Oh.
Too funny.
What else we got?
That was the last one of our regular articles.
Yeah, that was it.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go play some Red Dead because I didn't get to last week because that storm that rolled through. So that's, a thing.
Yeah, our weather this time of year is always fantastic.
Right?
Afternoon thunderstorms. What's tomorrow? Afternoon thunderstorms. What's tomorrow? Afternoon thunderstorms.
Like, or it's not that it is, it's that it's maybe. So you can't even make plans around it because you don't know what's actually going to happen. Forecast says there's a 70% chance of it just being a giant storm, and then it actually is the day of, and it's sunny, and there's nothing. There's no rain. It's gone. I canceled all my plans for this. Luckily for me, I like to stay inside, so it usually doesn't affect me. But if it's heavy thunderstorms, like it was last week, it makes our power flicker, and I can't have that.
There you go.
Weather.
We get lucky with ours. Ours doesn't have that much problem over here. Thank goodness.
Well, look, here's the deal. Weather. I need to go ride horses today in a game. Yes, I know it's not outside, but it's in a game, and in the game it's outside. So I need to go ride these horses. Please cooperate with me.
And you can't afford a real horse to go ride, so you have to ride the horse this way.
Right.
You're being kind to nature this way.
I mean, if
he needs a walk.
She steals a horse, maybe.
I don't want to go to jail. And even then, if I stole the horse, I still couldn't afford to feed it. What, are you just going to put it on the couch with the dog back here? He's taking up the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he's still
They
asleep.
can be cuddle buddies.
To be fair, I think it would be hilarious the next time that we had the podcast if there was a horse laying on your couch.
Well, the closest I can get is the pink thing that's in the corner over here is a unicorn. It's a stuffed unicorn, and it's giant. And the white thing next to it's a pony. So technically there are two ponies right behind me. They're just not real. Close enough. All right, I gotta go ride ponies. Let's wrap this up.
Unicorn.
We appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week on Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. Check out Grif.
At Grif Slineham.
Check out Chicken.
I'll eat chicken 313.
Check out Baka.
Baka Pickle.
As Grif was just talking about, make sure you go to her YouTube channel where she's currently playing through Red Dead Redemption 2, riding horses, crashing horses, I'm sorry, Mr. Man.
Punching people on accident sometimes.
Yeah, she does. She's good that way.
Accident.
Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313 where you can watch Chicken almost every day of the week. Takes a couple days off. All good and stuff.
During the summertime, I've already promised once the season slows down, you'll be getting me twice a day. 4 times, 5 times, or 4 times.
There you go.
Too much chicken.
Nope.
No
you
such
get
thing.
all the chicken.
No. Get all the chicken. What do you got this week, Chicken?
Overwatch. It's the event, so we're going to play
Loot
Overwatch this
boxes. I need the
Yay,
Hanzo
lots
skin.
of Overwatch. So you can watch her play through some Overwatch. Listen to Grif as she rages out.
I try really hard not to do that, okay?
Hey, I'm telling you now, Alyssa literally came in one day and or messaged me one day and she goes, I love Grif so much. I love it when they're playing and she's raging out. So funny.
I'm so mean. I'm sorry.
I will say I did something a little more, little unique since we figured out how to use replays now.
Oh no!
I made a super fucking good play, and I was like, why in the hell did my team just fail it up fucking completely? So we went back and watched the replay with everybody, and everybody is terrible, by the way. I learned that everybody is bad. I made a super play. Newbie goes off the side. Snitty follows me up. Grif is back behind the fucking payload, shooting at the Torbjorn. She could line of sight.
We were gonna get an ult behind us, but it was a different Torbjorn.
Baka's back there draining the turret, and I'm up here just knocked down 4, killed 1, and my healer's busy. My other healer runs off by himself. My Torbjorn is hiding, and I die instantly, and we lose.
Well,
and I get to call everybody out.
Well, 1, you didn't announce you had an ult. 2. That fucking
I did say I have an ult, and you know what yo ass said after I asked what everybody was doing? You're like, I'm healing everybody. Man, we went back, yo ass wasn't healing nothing but yourself.
Because that turret was killing.
In the rest of our defense,
you can line of sight.
In the rest of our defense, Chicken, what you did was, 1, no, you didn't say that you were going in because you saw a play and made it happen, which is fine. It was a spur of the moment. This had to happen right now. But you charged off as Reinhardt around a corner. I didn't even know where you went. I didn't. I was like, you're like, I knocked him down. I was like, where is he?
How do you not see you? Everybody, you can see everybody.
You can. I had to look for you because you were in front of me, and then you weren't. And there were still people in front of me, but like you said, like Newbie had split off the opposite direction of you.
Newbie should have followed me
up.
Where's everybody at? What happened? You two should have just line of sighted the Torbjorn. You know he threw down a fresh turret, so you should have just moved out of the way. And then that's it. He can't do anything but run at you.
Look, if you weren't watching that game, it's hard to explain some of the things that went into it. I thought that Torbjorn had an ult, and we were all about to have the backline melted by it. But it was a different Torbjorn. We were playing Mystery Heroes. The other Torbjorn
because she wasn't watching the kill feed.
Oh my god. We had the same skin and everything. There was a lot going on. Jeez.
You gotta have big brain.
Look, I'm gonna go ride horses now. I hate you people.
Big brain.
Also, make sure you go to mixer.com/MDBOaktree. This week, I am off. I have remodeling, like I said, this entire room, so I won't be streaming this week, but I will start back up next week. But you can watch the VODs, and there's, some fun stuff on those. Or you could just go hang out in Chicken's chat the entire time and listen to Grif Rage.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be
plenty of it, I'm sure.
Oh, I have so many feels.
So many feels. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oaktree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Baka.
See ya.
Bye.